Welcome, everybody, to LYNlive.com. LYN stands for Live Younger Now, and that's what we're doing. And tonight's masterclass is on the history of this company. You know, a lot of people say, who are the owners and where did this come from and how did this get started and how long has it been here and all the da-da-da-da-da. And for the convention that was last weekend in Dallas, Joshua Joshua and Donald built a beautiful video. It's a very short one that's all about the history. And I thought this would be a great time to talk about the history and play the video and explain some of the things that we have so many questions about. Where did this company come from? Because this is a really interesting story. And this is not just something whipped up by men to make money. Oh, no. There's nothing like this. There's nothing like this product. There's nothing like this history. There's nothing like this company ever. I've been in natural healing and energy medicine for more than 50 years, and I've been in network marketing for at least 45 years, and I have never seen anything like this company. And I'll tell you a little bit about it to start with, and then we'll play the video, and that'll kind of like wrap it in a big bow. And I want to back up to where I heard about this, because this started over 50 years ago. It was in Europe, the European royalty, and you'll see on the video who we're talking about. After World War I, after the Spanish flu, they consigned a huge group of scientists to find the cause of aging and to find what do you do about disease. And it had to be 100% plants, and it could do no harm. Can you think of anything that fits that bill? And, you know, it started in Europe, and it's been in Europe for quite a while. It's only been in the United States around 5 years. I was lucky enough to hear about it when it was only 3 months old. So I've had a lot of experience with this. And the company's been pretty secretive about a lot of stuff because of what this does. I mean, this takes the place of everything else. So they've had to be very, very cautious. And I've learned where this came from, you know, over time here and there. But this video that I'm gonna ask Donald to play now tells the whole story. And then I'll expand on that in just a little bit. So Donald, could you, and by the way, Donald, this is the newest one, right?
Yes,
Is there a way that you can link this so that people can have it tonight?
it's not published anywhere, but we'll figure that out.
Okay, we will get this so that this is something that you can show. You know, almost every single person that starts with this. I mean, most people say, "Oh, I'm not going to share that. You know, that's not me." No, no, no. But then when they realize what this is, that this is something that everybody needs, from newborn babies to people over 100 and every one of your pets, and that this hits at the root cause of aging and all of our issues, and that you don't have to use anything else. This is it. People share it. So we'll figure out a way to get you all, and this will be on the websites soon, but we just have it. There was just a couple things we had to take out of it from the convention, like where it says Dallas, so that we can use this in our own marketing and sharing with other people. But Josh and Donald did a wonderful job creating this. So would you play that for us, Donald?
Our story begins in the aftermath of World War I, when the Spanish flu pandemic claimed 50 million lives. Desperate for answers, royal families turned to top scientists to uncover the root cause of illness and the effects of aging, using only the power of plants. For decades, this team of brilliant minds studied and isolated the highest frequency molecules from 44 of the most powerful healing plants on Earth. After 30 years of meticulous research, they achieved something miraculous. This breakthrough laid the foundation for discoveries that would later win Nobel Prizes in the 1950s, recognizing the vital role of nutrition and oxygen in the body. The evolution continues. In 1973, a special team of European scientists took this research even further. They documented and perfected a process to extract the most nutritious parts of each plant, refining it from over 150 million possible combinations. This led to the creation of iHercules, the most advanced breakthrough in nutrition available to this point in history. iHercules is built on a precise blend of plant nutrients delivered directly to the bloodstream, bypassing common absorption issues. This formula not only supports the body's internal systems, but also presents a new frontier in reverse biological aging. The story of this extraordinary super nutrition technology spread quietly among the elite and privileged. Known as straight from God's garden, iHercules was trusted by adults, babies, pets, and animals alike. It was a safe, potent solution that enriched the blood, enhanced microcirculation, and targeted zombie cells, helping raise the frequencies of the body's immune system. As the elite experienced life-changing results, a visionary businessman saw an opportunity. His mission was clear: to bring this once exclusive technology to everyday people at affordable prices. The evolution continues. This visionary imagined a world where anyone could benefit from iHercules without needing to visit clinics or doctors. He dreamed of making this advanced formula accessible, affordable, and available right at people's doorsteps. He connected with prestigious partners who could help his vision become a reality, and something new was born. The once secret formula, now simply known as X, combined with the process to extract the high-frequency healing molecules, they put it all together and NuXtrax was born. The evolution continues. Today, NuXtrax champions 3 extraordinary products, each transforming the health and well-being of families worldwide. The global expansion has begun, and now you are the next phase of this remarkable journey. Are you ready to be part of the evolution?
Powerful, right? We are part of that evolution. You know, I don't know anybody that is using this that can't go, oh my God, I need to share this. This is amazing. But this, I mean, you know, one of the things that I know about network marketing is that it's got to be something that is not duplicatable to be successful in long term. Oh my gosh. 50 years ago was when this science team was put together and to find the cause of aging. You saw that. You saw who funded this. That's been something they've been kind of keeping secret. But that's really where this was funded. And this science team, half of them are quantum physicists. And so they were able to do something nobody has ever done before. They went into the quantum structure of plants. Every healing plant has like 1,000 different types of molecules. And you know, when we're talking about history, that this started 50 years ago. 85 years ago was when Big Pharma started. And they went from a whole different point of view. They went from, well, let's develop something for headaches and pain. And they could have taken white willow bark and made it into, produced it, mass produced it for people. But you know what? They couldn't make money on that. They couldn't patent a plant. So they synthesized it. They took everything out of it they could figure out and put it into a synthetic. And everybody knows aspirins are pretty good. I mean, they treat headaches and pain in a lot of people, but they've also caused bleeding, ulcers, and deaths. You can't synthesize God's handiwork. So while that was going on in the pharmaceutical industry, started going, ooh, what other things can we make and make money on? And that was their basis of that. This company, this science team was put together by royalty to find the cause of aging, not to make money, to find something that would work, because they had lost thousands and thousands of people to the war and to the Spanish flu, and they wanted a real powerful 100% plant-based solution. So on one hand, this is growing. On the other hand, this is being studied and researched. But it took them 30 years. When they started going into the quantum structure of plants to locate, isolate, remove, and study every molecule, and every plant has like 1,000 different types of molecules. And they wanted to know, what's the frequency of this molecule? What does it do in the body? How does it act and interact with every other molecule? It took them 30 years. It was 150 million variables that they studied to come up with this Hercules. And then you know what they did with it? They took it to doctors, and they worked with over 300,000 patients in Europe through medical doctors with this product. And you know what? Everybody got better. And half of them, and listen to what I'm saying, half of them had stage 3 or 4. You know what I'm talking about. That's a word we don't use. Half of them had stage 3 or 4. The other 50% were actors and athletes and just the elite, because they were charging $150,000 for a 4-month program. I don't know about you, but I couldn't have done that. But the reason that we have it here in the United States now is all because of the head of the science team had a daughter who married an American, Jim Barnett. And he happened to be in Europe when they were putting the blood work research data into the big computers in Switzerland. And he helped them. And when they were all done, he came back to his father-in-law and said, oh my gosh, this is the cleanest, safest, most powerful product you could put in your body. And we found that there were no allergic reactions. And there aren't. Somebody called me today going, oh, my friend is allergic to something that's in this, and she wanted to know about it. It doesn't matter. You could be allergic to 10 things out of the 44 plants that are in this. You will not have an allergic reaction to it, because they've taken molecules out of it, the top molecules. It's not the whole plant. When we asked the science team, can anybody be allergic to this? They said, no, absolutely not. And of the hundreds of thousands of people that have used this, we've not had anybody have an allergic reaction. There were no allergic reactions. There were no contraindications to any medications. Now, you know how many contraindications there are just to medications. Every one of them has negative side effects, but this doesn't interact with that in any negative way. And there were no negative side effects. And that one really, when I got out of the wheelchair and my husband got out of a 40-year blood sugar issue and a 10-year heart issue that the cardiologist said would never get better. And they were better, I mean, done in 4 months' time. When that happened and I started sharing this with people, I had no idea what would happen. And so many people wanted it. I have a huge following to start with. And so many people wanted it. And I thought, oh my gosh, if this cleans the blood and opens the circulation and boosts the immune system and stimulates our stem cell production, people are going to detox. And I'm going to be on the phone all day long explaining. And you know what? Nobody did. And I called Jim Barnett and I said, why is nobody detoxing? And he said, because at the very beginning, the royal family said, this can do no harm. Well, you know what? If somebody's on their deathbed and you give them something and it detoxes them, it could very likely kill them. And it could do no harm. So they had to do a different way. This is quantum nutrition, the likes of which has never been created before. And I'll explain why this doesn't detox you. I mean, it detoxes you gently and slowly every single day by cleaning the blood and opening the circulation, but it doesn't throw you into a detox where you could get really ill, because it's quantum nutrition. When you spray this under your tongue, 4 sprays, morning, afternoon, and evening, at least at the beginning, to keep it in your bloodstream all day long. When you do that, what's going on? It is keeping it, well, it's keeping it in the bloodstream all day long. But when you put this in your blood, everything that's in your blood that's low frequency raises up in frequency. This is high frequency. This is a law of quantum physics. When you put high frequency stuff in a closed system like the circulatory system, all the low frequency stuff raises up in frequency. It transmutes it. Yeah, it changes the nature of it. So what's in the blood that is making us sick? That's low frequency. Virus, bacteria, fungus, mold, parasites, chemicals, heavy metals, radiation, glyphosates, chemtrails, spike proteins, plastic particles. I mean, all that stuff is really low frequency. It's also very acidic. And so anything that is low frequency or acidic in the presence of high frequency molecules raises up in frequency, raises up in pH, cleans it out. The body can then deal with it and get rid of it. Nobody's ever done that before. Nobody's ever done. I mean, this is just, I could go on and on and on and on about all of the amazing things that this does, because honestly, there is nothing like this. But this came to this country 5 years ago, or a little bit before that, because of Jim Barnett, the son-in-law of the head of the science team. And he brought it here. And originally it went just to doctors and chiropractors. But he kept begging, we want this to go to, we don't want it to go through the doctors that jack up the prices. We don't want it, we want it to go directly to the end user at prices we can all afford, because everybody deserves to know about this. And it was agreed that it would go into a network marketing format. And Jim Barnett got a number of other people together, Lowell Mims and Doc Fogg and the head of the science team. And they're the owners of the company. And their whole mission behind this, they're all wealthy. They didn't do this to start to make more money like every other company that I've ever been involved with. It was all about making money. This is not. They started this company for the purpose of changing healthcare, because they all lost loved ones to products that didn't heal them. In fact, in the end, it hurt them. Their whole mission was to change healthcare, because they understood that life is in the blood. This entire product line is formed from understanding what every molecule does in the blood and how they act and interact together in the blood. By the way, one other thing I want to explain, because it took me, I say to everybody when they get involved with this, besides just ordering the product, please, 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 please become educated about it, because this is a paradigm shift. It is not like anything else you've ever done. It takes the place of every supplement or drug you've ever taken. I mean, it's totally different. This is new. It's new extracts. This company gives back up to 71% of their profits. You heard that right. Of their profits to the people that are sharing this. I've been top distributor. I'm top distributor in this company. Look at my new ring, by the way. Isn't that pretty? That was an award from this weekend. Anyway, I've been in a lot of companies that had, quote, natural products. And they all, if they gave up to 30% back, that was amazing. So this company is unique. It's a product that can't be duplicated. It's a company that can't be duplicated, with a marketing plan that can't be duplicated. But I'm going to circle back here, because I was going to say, this is something that took me a while to understand. And everybody that you share this with, please don't just get them on the product and leave them there. Get them to all of the LYN live stuff. Get them to my Sunday night Zoom. We've got hundreds of people that get on every Sunday night, and they hear the science and the history and how it works. And hundreds of people ask questions and tell their stories. I mean, it gets more and more exciting. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. And it's just, I love hearing the stories, because there's nothing like this out there. But what I was circling back to, the last circle back, I always was involved with natural products. I know better now. You can take a vitamin C out of an orange, and that's natural, right? You can put that in your body. You know what your body says? Kare, what the heck is that? That's not food. It's an isolate. You take a molecule, like nobody's ever done this before. But you take a molecule out of a plant, and they do this so eloquently that it doesn't interfere with it at all. And it's got all of the nutrients, all of the enzymes right in that. And you put that in your body, and your body goes, whoa, thank you. And it can use 100% of that. There's no other food on the planet like this. You can eat an organic orange, and the body will call that food, but it's got to go through your digestive tract. You get very little of it. A lot more than if you get something out of a box that's called orange flavored flakies or whatever. That's not food at all. You can't get life from dead food. You can only get life from living food. And so these molecules have everything your body needs, and it understands it, and it can use it 100%. So people are going, how can 4 sprays under your tongue 3 times a day do all this? It's because this is food from God's garden, for top molecules from 44 of the most powerful plants on the planet. 100% of it gets used. I don't eat breakfast. I do intermittent fasting, and I don't usually eat till like 12, 1 o'clock. Now, I put this in my body first thing in the morning. Let me just back up. When I get out of bed in the morning, I'll drink something like that. This looks bigger because put it here. About this much water, because everybody's dehydrated when they get up in the morning. So you want to hydrate your body so that it'll function. And then I do my sprays. And then I'm good to go. I mean, I don't need to eat because I've got nutrition. I've got the highest quality nutrition. Yeah. And a lot of people ask me, Cynthia, what about if you're fasting on this? When you're fasting, you're giving your digestive tract a rest. This doesn't go through your digestion. If you you spray it under your tongue and you hold it there for a little bit, it doesn't go into your digestive system. You don't have to worry about this. And when you're fasting, and these nutrients are going into your body and nourishing your body and opening your circulation and cleaning your blood, don't you think that's going to be even more profound? Yeah, I used to be the queen of fasting. And now, I mean, I used to be called the queen of detox, but I've done 4 40-day water fasts. I don't think I'll ever do that again. But so many people that do detoxes hurt themselves because their body's not dehydrated, and it's not nourished. And so it actually can damage an organ by doing a liver cleanse or a kidney detox or whatever. Yeah, Susan's saying a 3-day fast with water and a Hercules is awesome. You betcha. The Bible talks about fasting. It is a very good thing to give your body a rest, but you can still be putting nutrition in your body while you're giving your digestive system a rest and ability to clean at a level that it's never cleaned before. So I circled back one too many times. ah, um, I'm trying to read these. I don't have anybody reading these questions for me either. Anyway, let me just go back because we're using up time here. So 4 months is an upgrade in your blood if you do this 4 sprays 3 times a day, or if you're doing the I Revive and I Hercules together, it's 2 times, morning and evening, 4 sprays morning and evening, and you use this morning and evening. And if you're using the patches, you would do this morning and evening, and the cream morning and evening, and then use a patch wherever you want. Oh, Sparkle's asking, isn't that a great name? Sparkle makes you laugh, makes you smile. Do you need to eat 15 minutes after the no, 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 no. I wish the company had asked me before they put that on the label. They didn't. Labeling law is so screwy. I was saying at the beginning, on the label it says that they've added alcohol. They have not. But they had to take it from their list, and all they had on their list, the labeling law list, was what kind of alcohol is that? I wanted to say ethylene, that's not it. But they didn't add anything except they took 3 of their plants and fermented them so that they would produce plant-based alcohol. Okay, so that's on the label that I wanted to explain. And then it says, use it 15 minutes before you eat. Well, on the label, it says 4 sprays once a day because according to labeling law, it's like they have to put what's the least amount that would do something. So they said, use 4 sprays once a day. That's the least amount. And so they do it 15 minutes before your biggest meal because it will help you if you do it 15 minutes before a meal. Because what it does is it turns on your digestive enzymes and your liver and kidneys so your body can clean and process food better. Do I do it 15 minutes before a meal? No. Anytime you use it, it works. But I would suggest that when you do it, use it under your tongue and let it stay there for a little bit because you want it to go into your bloodstream. You don't want to spray it under your tongue and go and drink a big glass of water because then you're washing those molecules into your stomach and you want it to go into your bloodstream. If it goes to your stomach, a roundabout way it'll get there, but not as fast and not as efficiently, especially if your digestive tract is not as good as it could be. So that's why they put that on the label, because they wanted you to get a little bit more oomph out of it if you're only doing it once a day. But please, if you're new to this, do at least 4 sprays, morning, afternoon, and evening for 4 months for that complete blood upgrade. And Jennifer's asking, is this safe for kids? Is there a taste? Do you have a protocol for dosage? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. First of all, the taste, they have not added anything for flavor. It tastes, I think, like kind of like a fine wine or bitter herbs. It's herbs. It's molecules from plants. So yes, there is a taste. Is it safe for kids? Absolutely. This is safe for newborn babies and everybody up to 100 years old and every single one of your pets. Joshua, my son, who lives next door with his wife and 2 kids, he has a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. Both of them have been on it since birth. As soon as their umbilical cord fell off, we started spraying the navel because that goes right into the bloodstream. And for the second baby, his mom had been using it during the whole pregnancy. Not a problem with that. You absolutely want to do this if you're pregnant. And so the baby was getting it through the milk. And then as soon as they started eating food, then we'd spray it on the food. And that's what we do with the animals too. We spray it on the dogs or cats' food, or in their water. And then as soon as they started eating, we sprayed it on that. And then now they both they love grabbing it and spraying it themselves. In fact, Grayson, who's 5, when he finds my bottle, and I kind of have to keep it up because he'll do like 20 sprays at a time, which certainly won't hurt him. But it's like that, you don't need 20 sprays. But I would do 20 sprays. In fact, well, let me finish the baby part. So yeah, this is absolutely the best thing you can use on kids. And I'll tell you what else, the I Revive cream is the best thing for diaper rash in the world. This is, you know what this is, right? This was developed by the science team for stage 4 burn patients. Stage 4 burns means there's no skin. This will regrow skin within a matter of weeks. So people don't have to have skin grafts and scars. So why do we have it? Because it works on the skin. It's wonderful for, look at wrinkles, brown spots, bug bites, burns, eczema, shingles, anything, diabetic ulcers, anything that's going on the skin. You put this eye revive cream on it and it will revive your skin because it stimulates stem cell production in the skin. And then, just listen to this because this is just amazing. Those stem cells are what will revive the skin. But when they're done working on the skin, they migrate. They migrate in and will fix other things. Yes, they will, they're because stem cells, and these are called fibroblasts. This is the only company that has ever developed anything to stimulate fibroblast stem cell production in the skin. But they go in. And yes, they can fix anything. The first person that ordered this has only been in our company now for 2 years. She called me after 2 weeks and said, Kare, you're absolutely right. It's getting rid of my wrinkles, but it's getting rid of my macular degeneration. Do you think that has anything to do with the stem cells? Yeah. And, in my 50 years in natural healing, I used to hate it when people would call me and go, Kare, what do you have for natural for macular degeneration? I had nothing. I mean, this, just rubbing it around on your eyelids and around your eyes. I mean, this goes in and fixes other things. Stem cells are repair cells. And this also is antiseptic, antifungal, antimicrobial, antiviral, and it's only plants. And it has UV protection. Thank you, Susan Stadley, who's an esthetician for 50 years. Yes, it has UV protection. But I don't ever put sunscreen on. I have been so conscious about, I mean, our skin, what problems raised when they started introducing sunscreen. Do you know that? It's one of the most unsafe things you can put on your skin. It is chemicals. Your body was not made for chemicals. This is food. They're made for your skin. And there's no chemicals. It's not synthetic. You can eat it. And a lot of people do. Because, from your lips to your rectum is skin. That tube that we call our digestive tract is skin. And so you can put, let me just show you how much. So they've got 2 sizes of this. This is the big one that because my little one's empty. This is 2 sizes. This one's 49. This one's 119. This is the better deal. But I just put some on the end of my fingertip. Can you see how much that is? Okay. Rub it on your fingertips like this. It's just glossy. That's enough for my face. If you have anything like neuropathy in your legs, you want to get rid of it faster, you can do it with eye Hercules. But if you put the eye revive on your legs where that numbness is, then the fibroblast stem cells go in there. So you're getting it from the inside out and the outside in. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Yeah. And if you want to eat it, and if you've got any digestive issues, take about the size of a pea, and you can either put it on your tongue or put it on a little cracker to get it clear into your stomach. So both are using eye Hercules. Okay, here's a question. My daughters both have problems with their periods. They're heavy and painful. Both using eye Hercules. Would you recommend the eye patch Vibe for women plus anything else? Yes. Thanks for bringing that up right here, because this is what I would do. I would have them put eye revive in their belly buttons. We have had so many people have such results with that. That goes right into the bloodstream, but you're also targeting that female area when you're doing that. And yet the Vibe for Women patch, these patches, oh my goodness, are amazing. You can feel them within 10-15 minutes. And that Vibe for Women, that has all of the frequencies of iHercules, frequencies to ground EMFs from your cell phone, your computers, your microwave, 5G, towers, all of that. And then there's another 50 frequencies that are specifically for the type of patch. Now, we have 14 patches now, and one of them is called Female Vibe. And those 50 other frequencies of plants, of homeopathics, of flower essences, crystals, all have to do with female issues, and hormones and energy and libido, all of that, to balance that out. So you could give that patch to a little girl who's having first periods and pain. You could give that same patch to somebody who's got Hashimoto's. You could give that same patch to somebody who's going through menopause and having hot flashes and night sweats, because of those 50 frequencies, all of those issues are addressed, and your body will pick and choose what it most needs and not use what it doesn't need. And there's no negative side effects for any of it. I mean, this stuff is just amazing. I could talk about it for hours and hours. Julie just asked, no, Cynthia just asked, do you think the cream would help sciatica? Yeah, I do. And with sciatica, you can also use the pain and inflammation patch. You could also, sciatica is a pinched nerve. So yeah, I would do both of those. And put it where it hurts. Put the cream where it hurts and run it, from the sciatic joint down the leg. Is iRevive also a prebiotic? Yeah, it's a prebiotic and a probiotic when you eat it. But it'll revive your digestive tract. Yeah. Celiac. Yeah. We have a lot of people that have celiac it is a growing concern. It used to be, like one in thousands, and now it's very, very common. And these products hit at the root cause of aging and all of our issues, because it opens the circulation, cleans the blood, boosts the immune system, stimulates our stem cell production, and reverses biological age by 15, 20, 25, 30 or more years. And it sounds like we've got a bunch of brand new people. Let me show you something. Because this will show you that a lot of people have seen this, but I'm going to show it to some of you that haven't. This is my before and after pictures. This is me 5 years ago in my outdoors wheelchair. But once you look at my skin, I was, 50 years in natural healing. I was in a wheelchair because of an auto accident. And I also had bone on bone in my hip. So I wasn't moving much. I gained a lot of weight. But look at the ruddiness of my skin and my wrinkles. This is 3 years later. My old picture is blocked up circulation, dirty blood, lots of zombie cells. My now picture is clean blood, open circulation, lots and lots of stem cells, no zombie cells. You can see the aging difference. 4 months is a blood cycle, but if you do it for 3 years, you've got a new body. I've got a new body. Yeah, Susan's saying autoimmune. Yeah, that boosts the immune system. I explained that, how when the blood is clean, the immune system comes back online. Is this recording available? Well, no, but it could be. I don't think I've said anything that I shouldn't have said. And if I did, we could take a word or two out, but we can make it available. A lot of the master classes, what we do is we'll put them into LYN live archives. Once we have to send them to the company, they have to review it. But we are, oh, and somebody asked a question and answer in the question and answer. Oh, and that was the same one. Is this video available? No, but we can make it available. Yeah. Are there any other questions? You know, when I look at the history of pharmaceuticals and also the history of nutritional supplements, and then I look at the history of this company, they came from whole different directions. One came from money and greed, and the other came from how can we help people to live longer, healthier lives. And which would you prefer? We've been so lied to. Oh my God. And you look at, we live in toxic soup. We're getting toxic stuff from our air, food, and water. We're getting toxins. I mean, our 90% of the grocery store is not food. If it comes in a package, a box, a can, it's not food. There's no life force in it. Life comes from the life force in food, from the light and the chlorophyll and the processes of God's earth. And so, you know, people say, oh, do I need to change my diet when you eat this? And it's like, no, you don't have to. Um, but if you want the best results, there's two things I suggest. Drink half your body's weight in ounces of water every day. 80% of the population is dehydrated. And we're talking about opening up circulation. Well, if you're dehydrated, your circulation can't open as fully because you're dehydrated. You know, so you want to drink water and you want to eat food from God's garden. Eat fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. And if you're eating meat, eat as eat grass-fed or wild as much as you can. Okay, I got a whole bunch of questions came in while I was ranting on that one. Let me see. Oh, um, does this help balance blood pressure? Yeah. What do so Jennifer, when you open up the circulation of the blood and the microcirculation, what do you think happens to blood pressure? And then you start cleaning all that crud from the blood. What do you think happens to blood pressure? Blood pressure will normalize. This is life is in the blood. The Bible says that. And this is all about the blood. All this study was about the blood. What does this do in the blood? These 300,000 people in Europe that did this through doctors, they did blood work every 3 weeks. And all of it was about what is this doing in the blood? Yeah. I have someone a week on iHercules who's having autoimmune flare-ups. Just have them find out how much water they're drinking. Number one, they probably are not. And two, if somebody is extremely toxic and you put this into the bloodstream, sometimes the body will want to rush it out. And it's usually rushed out through the skin because that's the largest organ of elimination. So the suggestion is make sure they're drinking half their body weight in ounces of water. That should take care of that. If not, just let them cut back a little bit till their body adjusts, but then go right back up to you want to do the full blood upgrade because that's where by 4 months, that's when the blood is clean for the first time in your life and the circulation is open and flowing for the first time in your life. you know, I talked to somebody today who said, oh, I don't have anything wrong with me. I just, going to take a little bit of it here and there. And I'm going, you don't understand what this is about. If you can clean the blood and open up the circulation, it's an upgrade in your blood, which is your life force. I don't care whether you have a condition now or not. We got newborn babies on this. We've got people that are 20 years old on this to do that blood upgrade, to clean everything that's been collecting in your blood your whole life. Nothing does that. Now, if you use a little bit of it here and every bit of it's going to help. But unless you do the 4-month blood upgrade, you're not upgrading your blood. So anyway, yeah, let's see if there are any other. Oh yeah. Do cell phones, if carried in our purses with I Hercules and I Revive, impact the efficacy in any way? That's a really interesting question. And I would have to say I do not believe so. But and because, like you go through x-rays in airports and things get scanned when they're shipped, and that doesn't do it. So I don't think that's the problem. But one of the things that I do recommend, because we we are so bombarded by radiation from cell phones and all the technology. I mean, you go into a building, if you live in a complex, a high rise, everybody in there has telephones and computers and radiating microwaves and stuff. I mean, it's like, whoa, everybody needs to be wearing an eye patch because they all have frequencies that ground that radiation. And I think that is so important. In fact, you want to see how important it is? Get one of the eye patches called Energetic Chatter. That's specifically for all this radiation, even though every single patch has frequencies to ground it. This one goes over the top with that because some people are super, super sensitive, but I don't think I am. But I put one of those patches on and I went, wow. It was like everything in my body got quiet. I had no idea how much interference was caused by I'm sitting in front of two big screens with, all the equipment around me. It's like I had no idea how that was affecting me because I was so used to it. Is there any point for a smoker to use these products? Well, yeah, more than most, because it will help to clean the body. And so it opens the circulation, cleans the blood. I've said that 50 times now. When the blood is clean, where does it go? It goes through every organ, through every cell. In the lungs, it'll help to clean all that stuff that collects in the lungs from smoking. It goes through the brain. People have emotional detoxes on this as well. So, I mean, I've had people that say, I'm just so teary-eyed. And, I'm going, so you're just having an emotional cleansing there a little bit. Yeah. And a lot of people who have addictions, and smoking is an addiction, whether you were talking addictions to food or smoking or drugs or whatever, alcohol, a lot of people, I mean, there's energy signatures, frequency signatures from all of those addictive things stored in the body. And as the blood begins circulating this high frequency energy throughout the body and cleaning out the lungs, cleaning out the liver, cleaning out the brain, everything gets better. Doesn't that make sense? Is there any point? Oh, I read that one. Lots of water is in the blood. The body is 75% water and the brain, yeah, is 88% water. Absolutely. And if you're dehydrated, the first place that gets dehydrated is the brain, so that then you don't make good choices. And the second thing that gets dehydrated is your circulation. And yeah, everybody needs to drink more water. And put a little bit of Baja salt or Celtic salt in your water, because we are electrical beings. We need that electrical charge within our body, and salt is a conductor. And so in the morning, I'll either crunch on a little bit of salt, or I'll put some in my water, or I'll make a Soleil, where you take like a quarter cup of salt in a 1 cup of water. And I said Baja and Celtic salt. Those are the two top ones. Redmond salt is really good. Himalayan salt is down on the list, but better than, something else. And then every morning you can just take like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of that Soleil and put it in your big glass of water. And that'll charge your body. We are electromagnetic beings. Our thoughts are electrical. Our heart is magnetic. And together we are electric. And if your heart and your brain are in synchronization, then you can manifest whatever you want. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that this does in all of these forms is it raises our frequency. And when you raise your frequency, you're raising your consciousness. Every disease, every depression, every low frequency emotion, I mean everything like that you don't want is about frequency, low frequency. This is highest frequency molecules from 44 of the most powerful healing plants on the planet. What do you think that does? Not only to your health, but to your emotions and your attitude and your ability to manifest. This is all you need. And I hope you share it with everybody you know. And I just see we are at the top of the hour. If there are no more questions, I'm done. I think that's it. I'm just double checking on the question things, Kare, because I really want to make sure that I got everything answered. Yeah. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I think this is, all these years in natural healing and energy medicine has been preparing me for this. There is nothing like this. There is nothing on our planet like this. I love it. I love it. And I think that everybody needs to be using this. Everybody deserves to hear about it. Only it's only the conscious people. You're all conscious or you wouldn't be here. It's only the conscious people that are really attracted to this. If somebody is not very conscious, they're going to go, yeah, that's BS. But you're planting seeds, because at some point, people are all going to be awakened to know that we've been sold a lot of lies. And in this lies truth. Truth, love, and simplicity. And that's what this has done for me. It's the truth. And I love it. And it is so simple. So thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I love you all. I'm here if you need anything. And just know tomorrow night, Wednesday night, there is an 8 o'clock Eastern time LYN live presentation. It's mine tomorrow. It was Susan's today. But then after mine at 8 o'clock Eastern, there's a 9 o'clock Eastern masterclass on the compensation plan. oh my gosh, I didn't start this to do this as a business, but I can't shut up about it. And this business is so much bigger than anything you can imagine. Get educated about that. And then Thursday, Maureen Solomon does an overview at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock, there's a master class by Dr. James Pruitt. And Dr. James came into our group 3 months ago and has 3,000 people in his group already. And he's teaching you how to get started fast. So don't miss that one either. And then Saturday, Cher Cormier does Saturday Night Live at 8 o'clock. And she is an animal communicator and healer. And her presentations are amazing. And then on Sunday, we have an 8 o'clock with either Raymond or, oh, come on. Uh, Deborah Pemberton, they switch off. And then at 9 o'clock, I do my Zoom that is not on LYN Live, but you want to come to that too. This is phenomenal that we've got this much information, but also know that if you've got a group that you would like to hear this, you'd like to hear this privately, call me. I'm happy to do launches for you and your group as well. So, blessings, everybody. I love you. Spray this with and use the patches and use the cream. And next time, tell your stories. And we'll see you the next time. Blessings, everybody. Love you all. Bye now.